Hello and welcome to Fortune and Venture. Before we begin, you must log in to our website at www.fnv.us. Sign up to FNV for free. On the toolbar, select the Sign Up icon and follow the instructions. If you are a teacher, you may use your account to create and administer student accounts, set up assignments, and much more. If you are a student, you may use your account to play Fortune and Venture, and you will have access to our educational resources. You must know your teacher's username and sign-up code to create an account. Or, if you are neither, you may still play, however you will not have access to any educational resources that are available with the game. Then log in with your newly created username and password. To access the game and learning resources, you will need to use your login details. For students, your login details should be provided by your teacher or supervisor who has registered with us. Please contact them to create an account for you. For teachers, if you haven't already signed up for a teacher's account at our sign-up page, once you have a login, you can sign in here to create and manage your students' accounts. What next? If you have just set up a new account or are playing on a different computer for the first time, you may need to do a connection check. If your computer does not have Silverlight, a Microsoft product, you will then be invited to download it using the instructions provided. Then when you are ready, click on the Start Playing button. Creating a game. Once in the lobby, you can either quick start or create a new game. If you want to create a new game, click on Create New Game and follow the instructions. The game can have up to 4 players in any one game, which can be made up of human and computer players. You can also adjust the difficulty setting. The difference between the levels are the prices, profit levels, and customers. A game name and password can also be created so that others cannot join your game. Functions on the board. When the coin is rotating next to your name, it's your go. You are given $100,000 as a startup loan at the beginning of the game, which has to be paid back. When the dice flashes, it is your turn to click on it. Player scores and point system. The player scores are calculated through the amount of profit generated by the businesses owned by that player. Players will also gain points for answering venture cards correctly. The fortune square is also a source of points and revenue. Every time a player answers a question incorrectly, the $1,000 lost from each question goes into the fortune pot, along with any payments made by any of the players from the various venture cards. Venture questions. There are 2 types of venture card. The first is a multiple choice question where the player can win or lose $1,000. Questions can be added and chosen by the teacher. The second is a scenario card, where the player will pay or receive money depending on the situation. Businesses. On the board, there are 20 different businesses. When considering purchasing the business, you should consider buy and purchase price, the amount to be paid in overheads at the end of each round, and how much profit will be made from each visit by a customer. When buying a business, one should be aware of the total cash flow at all times. Customers. Once you have bought your business, you may have customers. When you get the customers, the box on the right will turn green, and it will tell you how many customers you've had, and the amount of revenue that the business in question has earned in that round. The number of customers per round is randomly generated by the computer. Therefore, it is important that you constantly watch your cash flow and profitability. Cash flow and profitability. On the Cash Flows tab, you can look at the cash flow, business data, or save the collected data into an Excel or Open Office. Improving cash flow. If cash flow is running low or a business is not performing as well as you would have liked, there is the opportunity to sell that business to other players or back to the bank at the end of the round. Be aware that if you sell to the bank, you will only get back half of what you paid for that business originally. When you sell your business, you will be prompted and made sure that this is what you want to do. You may then see bids by other players as well as the bids from the bank. Once you have accepted a bid, you may click Accept Bid, and that will show you which bid you have accepted. Or you can take out a loan. When taking out the loan, you can take out a maximum of $100,000. The repayments and amounts of interest that need to be paid back are highlighted in the box. The loan is a fixed rate, but you must make sure you have paid attention to the repayment and rate of the loan. Borrowed money is not always cheap, and it is definitely not free. Paying back your startup loan. You will get a message at the beginning of your second round. When money is paid out, the box on the right side will turn red. Advertising and bad debt. On the board, there is an advertising square which, if bought, allows all sales to be doubled for that round. The cost is $500 times the dice value times the number of businesses owned. In life, there are also people and businesses that do not pay. The board reflects this through the bad debt square. By landing on this square, you lose 25% of all revenue earned during that round. Cost will remain the same. What to do with your collected data? From the cash flow statement, you can then look at each business purchased in further detail and analyze its performance. What can you do with the data? You can produce a set of financial accounts and more, which include cash flow statement, double entry bookkeeping, profit and loss account, balance sheet, current ratio, gross profit and net profit, break-even analysis, and you can enter all of your data into any commonly recognized accounting software. As it is real data, your decisions during the game are reflected in the numbers. Differentiation for students can occur by repeatedly using the same data, but apportioning the numbers differently, e.g. cash, checks, and credit sales. Dividing inventory costs amongst different suppliers. Overheads can consist of wages, rent, and other. Here you see an example of Fortune & Venture Incorporated's trial balance. Fortune & Venture Incorporated's profit and loss. Out of every dollar that Fortune & Venture Incorporated has earned, 27 cents has come from the hairdressers, 51.6 cents from the opticians, and 21.3 cents from the pharmacy income. For every dollar earned by Fortune & Venture Incorporated, 16.8 cents was paid to the suppliers for inventory. For every dollar earned by Fortune & Venture Incorporated, 83.2 cents was left after paying for inventory. This is gross profit. Extra costs to be taken away from gross profit. Rent is 135.2%. This means that for every dollar that Fortune & Venture Incorporated earns, it must pay $1.35 in rent. The rent costs more than it is earning. What should Fortune & Venture do? Do they find ways to improve revenue? Do they cut costs? Do they do nothing? Do they go on a spending spree with their credit card to make themselves feel better? Potential class discussions. Why are sales so low? Who is in charge? Do staff need training? Is your stock poor quality or overpriced? Is there too much competition? Why is rent so expensive? If you are making a loss, how are you able to pay your bills and sustain this? Where is the money coming from? Are you relying on your business loan? Would you have preferred to use a loan to grow the business rather than trying to save it? Fortune & Venture Incorporated balance sheet. Here you see there is money in the bank. Fortune & Venture Inc. is cash rich. Here you see that Fortune & Venture Inc. is worth $91,670. Or is it? Long-term debt. Fortune & Venture still owes the $100,000 from the startup loan in the beginning of the game and has $91,670 in the bank, which means it cannot pay its debts. Fortune & Venture will still owe $8,330 in order to make up the balance of the $100,000. Here you see a breakdown of different businesses purchased on the board. Which is the best business, and what do the figures tell you? This has been the quick, brief tutorial of the Fortune and Venture game. If you have any questions or wish to contact us, please feel free to do so at our website, which is www.fnv.us. Thank you,